Nestled in the heart of Barnsley is a wonderful and surprising green haven called Dearne Valley Country Park, covering 80 hectares.
We're here in Dearne Valley Country Park, located on Pontefract Road. Barnsley has a lot to offer. It's got a lot of heritage, a lot of places to see, a lot of things to do. But I think a lot of people forget just how much nature is actually here and how important nature is. Places like this are great for a nice day out, or if you want to go out and see some friends, but it's also nice just to be in nature itself, and it's nice just to be out and about in the open air in Barnsley.
Created by 1991, Dearne Valley Country Park was once a seething cauldron of industrial waste and abandoned infrastructure, a far cry from what it is today.
Some speculate the word Dearne means hidden or secret. Now, there is a lot of hidden history regarding the Dearne Valley, but there is also a lot of it recorded as well. The earliest recording history here was of the Roman ridge, which ironically, they don't know if it was Roman, it could have been Iron Age or early medieval. Then, in the medieval period, there was routes being built, and there was also villages and industry starting to develop as well.
Coal mining dominated the area as the development of coal mining techniques and the discovery of seams of accessible coal meant that other parts of this area were developed too, including railways and housing.
However, in the 1980s and 90s, a lot of the mines around here closed and the landscape became derelict once the buildings were destroyed. This led to a loss of community spirit. However, through regeneration projects, a lot of the disused and wasted land actually became places of nature, such as country parks like the one we're in today. You'll find that a lot about places of nature, especially in South Yorkshire. They were once industrial areas, and they've allowed nature to reclaim them, so that way they're not just a bitter memory of what once was, but they're a place where people can use them today.
Then there was the River Dearne. It flows east from its starting point for more than 30 miles from the Dearne Head near Bird's Edge, Huddersfield. It runs through Barnsley amongst other places before joining the River Don at Conisbrough. Parts of the upper river were used for mills. In the 1700s it had a sizable fish population, but with nearby industrial development in the 1800s, pollution became rife. Thankfully, this had started to decline in the 1980s, and trout had started to become self-sustaining by 1996.
Then there was the Den and Dove Canal. Now, canals were vital to the industrial development of Britain, as they were excellent modes of transport for people and goods, especially between industrial sites. Approved by Parliament in 1793 and completed by 1804, the Den and Dove Canal consisted of around 19 locks, including the stop lock here in Barnsley. It was fully abandoned by 1977 owing to mining subsidence and the loss of industry.
There was also the Oaks Viaduct. Goods traffic began from 1869, passenger traffic from 1870. It covered the Dearne Valley and was over 1,000 feet long, serving nearby industrial places such as Barnsley Main Colliery. After being deemed unsafe, however, it was demolished after 1965.
A lot of the industry in Barnsley was coal mining, of course, but also linen was another prominent industry here as well. Hoyle Mill nearby was named after the watermill on the River Dearne, and it was originally called Hoyle Mill, but the local dialect has changed it over time to Hoyle Mill. Then there was also glass making, which finds its roots in Barnsley back in the 1600s, with one of the most prominent Barnsley glassmakers being the Hope Glass Works in Starefoot.
Hope Glassworks was founded in 1867 by Ben Rylands, before he formed a partnership with Hiram Codd in 1877. These glassworks were visited by King George V in 1912, and they were closed in 1926. There was also linen in Barnsley, beginning with William Wilson after his arrival here in 1744. It later became one of the biggest industries in Barnsley, and by the mid-1800s it became a centre of linen weaving, one of the best in the country.
Then there's Cliffwood. These woods have been around here since the monks used them in the 1100s, with the monks coming from Monkbretton Priory. The timber from here was vital in the production of iron ore and coal mining. In 1907, 2 men were arrested for trespassing as they came onto here looking for game to hunt. Nowadays, it's called Cliffwood, but we spell it with an E still, despite the fact that cliff with an E was Old English before we dropped the E just to mean cliff. It means steep bank, which could always indicate the presence of a river.
What's brilliant about Dearne Valley Country Park, along with a lot of the other green spaces across Barnsley, is it brings wildlife into the heart of the town. From carp to cherry trees, there's something here for everyone. There's a lot of green spaces in Barnsley, such as Carlton Marsh, and a lot of parks too, such as Lock Park.
This one here is what the community really wants and needs, however. Dearne Valley Country Park not only has a lot of heritage and nature, but it's also a real community asset. There's a skate park, places for fishing, and it's just a nice place to come and walk your dog or hang out with family. And I think that's what I truly like about Barnsley. It really has so much to offer, so much for people to come and explore. There are a lot of lovely places here in Barnsley, and this is just one of them.
Dearne Valley Park is situated near one of Barnsley's most important pieces of industrial heritage, Barnsley Main Colliery, which is cared for by Barnsley Main Heritage Group. It's only a few minutes walk away, so why not pop over for a visit?